I'm Ben Andrews. I've got two mocks today. The first one is creative envisioning, which is a lot of fun. It's kind of taken from a couple of different realms of standpoint and appreciation. The first is I'm a lover of Melbourne and the cityscapes, as well as the outer reaches of community, which really inspire me a lot. So I wanted to be able to incorporate both of those concepts. So the first half, being the left-hand side here, is a build that is inspired by all the different warehouses that I've been to, and been very I guess privy to the community within that. Next to the build reaches into my love of the hills community, the Dandenong Ranges, which is really inspiring for me and where I live. And there is so many different markets and standpoints and groups of people who come together to form a really rich fabric of community, and that really inspires me a lot. So I wanted to be able to bring both of those elements of my life into it. So within the garden, I've got kids playing hide and seek. I've got a homage to the observatory, my last year build, in the form of a kids play set, a few garden beds, a tin shed. Now, throughout the whole thing, the warehouse is completely lit, and I ended up purchasing a lights kit from a third party, not from Lego, and ran that through the warehouse. But through the back of it, it has a kind of like a wire that comes out, looks like a power line, and runs directly into the shed. So it looks like the shed is actually powered from a central point, but it's actually the shed powering everything else, kind of like much of my life. So this here is my second build. I kind of wanted to challenge myself in a few ways this year. I wanted to be able to bring about two builds as opposed to one large build that I did last year, and I tend to do only one at a time. Where this year I wanted to achieve two radically different styles of builds to kind of twist my brain in ways that wouldn't normally allow. So whereas the creative envisioning is all minifigure scale and slightly larger than typical Lego town scale or city scale, this one here is micro scale and yet still at a large scope. So the name of this one is Terra Astronavis, which is a Latin name meaning the Earth spaceship. Terra being Earth, and Astro being space, and Navis being the navigator or the ship. So I kind of wanted to be able to incorporate a whole lot of technical development and technical schemes that are really have wrinkled my brain for a long time, being able to create a singular moving entity that looks like it's freestanding by itself. My inspiration behind this is kind of being able to understand that if you were living, this here in the center is a city, a citadel, a large, let's say, Melbourne-sized city, and around the build there are lots of little white buildings, which would be other smaller cities and towns and villages, all built around the mountainscapes. And the idea is that if, for example, you were floating in a large spaceship, you would have to get on well with your crew, you would have to get on well with the people and tribes in which you were living with. So it's built on the premise of harmony and living collectively in a small space. I'm not a Technic builder, I'm not a motor-driven builder. My last model was the first time I'd ever used motors, and this time I've incorporated a whole lot of train tracks into it, gearboxes, battery pack, and it's all hidden within the one thing. The underside is held on completely by one stand, one central pillar, which is quite amazing. It's running two extra large motors and two gearboxes, one off each motor, and that's pushing roughly about 2.5 to 3.5, somewhere in there, kilos of Lego, being this outer ring. And it's all mounted onto a train track. The top comes off completely along the lines of that, and then you can sort of see onto the inside. So it took me a long time to figure it out, and a lot of coaxing from some of my other Foal crew to keep it actually going and keep the project moving. I'm really happy with how it turned out. And funnily enough, I had this build done very soon. So there you go. Cheers.